So here in Cleveland, Ohio, once again, Stipe Miocic. Stipe literally days away now from the fight. How is training camp? Everything getting ready for Daniel Cormier the second time?
Doing great, man. Honestly, it's been a great camp. Honestly, it's been awesome. I've just been enjoying life for a change and just getting better.
What's the last year been like for you? It's been almost exactly 13 months since you last fought. What has the last 13 months been like for you?
Awesome, honestly. Unfortunately, I lost the belt, which sucks. No one likes losing, but honestly, just get to enjoy life, get my mind rest, my body rest, get to enjoy my daughter, watch her grow up. It doesn't get any better than that. Honestly, it's been awesome. It's been a great year.
You were waiting for your daughter when I was up here the last time. How is fatherhood treating you?
Great. Honestly, my baby girl is amazing. She's a great kid. She sleeps through the night. I can't complain. I'm a rock star as a wife, and she does a lot for me while I'm in camp. And I don't ask her, but she does it, and I'm very lucky.
I know it's generic to say this. Fatherhood changes you. Yeah. How has fatherhood changed you?
It's made me a better person, man. You appreciate a lot more things. You don't understand when people have kids, what they go through, and you're going through, and you're like, oh wow. And you just appreciate it more, and you understand why something when you see a kid crying, you feel terrible because you know what they're going through.
They always say fighting is a very selfish sport, and you have to be to a certain extent. Does that change at all with having a daughter now that you're fighting for something else, or?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely fighting for her, of course. There's no question I'm fighting for her. But honestly, it's just that, just I love it, man. I love being a father. It's like the funnest thing to do.
Let's go back to last July and talk about the first fight with Daniel Cormier. At this point, how many times have you watched that fight? Never?
No, I'm going to watch it real soon. Probably in the next couple
days. You have not watched it at all?
No.
Do you remember the fight?
Yeah, I remember all of it. Yeah.
So walk me through it. What went right? What went wrong?
Everything was going right. I was doing great, and we got in a clinch, and I squared up when I should have squared up, and he's caught with the right hand. I've been hit harder, you know what I mean? And I had his wrist, and fortunately, he caught with the right hand, and it's a fight game. Anything can happen.
Did anything he do surprise you, or did you feel like your coaches had pretty much prepared you for everything he was going to do?
Yeah, I felt good. Honestly, I felt comfortable. I felt like I was winning the fight. Pushing the pace on him, against the cage. At times he's running away from me. He's hitting me, of course. It's a fight, you're going to get hit. But honestly, I felt good. I felt comfortable. It was a good fight. It was a close fight, but I felt like I was winning it. And, like I said, just, it happens. It's life.
There were a lot of fans who pointed out after the fight, and again, you're not a guy to make excuses, but they were talking about eye pokes. Were there eye pokes?
Next question.
Were there eye pokes?
Next question.
Not addressing the eye pokes.
Next question.
When you have a tough fight like that, you've not been a guy who has lost very often in your career, but I'll take Junior Dos Santos as an example. You fought him, very, very close fight, you lost. You come back, obviously we know what happened, first round knockout the next time. How do you get ready for Daniel Cormier a second time without reinventing the wheel? You know what I mean? Like you see some guys that kind of reinvent the wheel off a loss.
With JD, I just when I got to DC, I knew I was a better fighter. I knew I was a better fighter. It just didn't go my way. But we just worked on weaknesses, worked on strengths, and just got better. Worked on his strength, worked on weaknesses, and just got better all around.
You've never been a guy to need motivation or lack motivation. How much did having that title taken away from you just kind of like, I won't say reinvigorate you because I don't want to sound like you weren't motivated, but you know what I mean? Like that hunger as a challenger.
I'm always hungry, no matter what, with the belt or not without the belt. It sucks not being a champ. I like being champ, I like being called champ, and that's why I'm gonna get the belt back. But it's more than that, dude. Like I know I'm a better fighter, so that's why I want the rematch.
You called for the rematch right away. There was some question: would you get it or not? Yeah. Derek Lewis ended up getting the one fight, and from my understanding, you wanted that November fight. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. I said let's do it.
Yeah. And then they gave it to Derek Lewis. And then Brock Lesnar. We know that whole thing happened. Were you always in the mindset you were going to wait for the rematch, or how did it play out?
I just play with faith, man. Honestly, I was enjoying myself having the time off, though. Honestly, with my daughter, it was great. It was awesome. So I wasn't really worried. I knew it was all going to work out.
Did you? You're not a guy who really responds much to criticism, pay much attention to what people say online. Although occasionally you do have some funny Twitter responses. But did you? What did you think of the criticism? People say you should have fought. You should have fought somebody else and got back that way.
It is what it is, man. That's their opinion, There's guys that never defended the title and they got a rematch right away, I defended it 3 times. More than anyone in the heavyweight division. I want to get a rematch. I brought the guy come up to fight me, in a super fight. It is what it is. I really don't care what anyone thinks about me. I can care less.
Going into the first fight with Daniel, I wouldn't say you guys were friends, but you were friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Very friendly. Even when you got booked to fight, I remember you both told me. You guys called each other, talked about it, did the Ultimate Fighter together. No real bad blood or anything. And I'm not saying there's bad blood now, but there have been some words exchanged. You know, he says he believes you felt entitled by the way you were asking for the title shot. Yeah. You kind of fired back at him a couple of times. What are your feelings towards Daniel Cormier going into this? Is it any different?
Yeah, it's all business, man. I'm not going to go out and have a beer with the guy, but it's all business.
Does anything anyone's ever said about you has never really bothered you? I know that. But does it change the way you feel about him in terms of some of the back and forth you had? Like, it almost seems like maybe something was unnecessary, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, like I said, I never go out and have a beer with the guy. It is what it is, you know. It's what we're in. It's all business, you know. Listen, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. I ain't worried about him.
Obviously, I'm not going to get too much into game plan, but kind of give me the mindset going into the rematch. Having been in there with him, you know, you almost went a full round. You did fill in the clinch. You exchanged some punches. Obviously, you know your strengths. You know his strengths. What do you feel like is the biggest difference from the first fight to the next fight, or is there a big difference?
Yeah, there's always differences. I don't know what there will be. I mean, I just think I've got a lot better and a lot more smarter in things I did, and I just didn't go with the game plan the first time. I don't know what my problem was, and you know, we're good. Like honestly, we're set. You know, I can't wait. I wish the fight was today.
You know what Daniel brings to the table. You've seen him at light heavyweight and heavyweight. Do you believe he is a better heavyweight than he was at light heavyweight when what you've seen out of him?
I don't know. I don't really care. I don't worry about him. I worry about me.
During your streak where you got to the title and then won the title and defended the title, you were very dominant. I don't think you even lost a round in there. I can't think of it. Yeah. You had pretty dominant performances the whole way through. When you look at this rematch with Daniel Cormier, you're ready for everything. You've gone through a 5-round war before. But do you believe in your heart of hearts that it can be a dominant performance the other way for you, that you can go out there and put it on DC?
Yeah, I know I can. I know I can do that to anyone. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm in the sport. I know I can. I know I have the best coaches in the world, and you know we have the best game plan. We walk in, I'm in great shape. I'm ready to go. I've been working hard, and listen, I'm gonna go out there and do my thing. You're gonna watch. You're gonna be like, holy shit.
Do you? I know you're not big on predictions, but do you believe this will be a knockout in your perfect world? If you play it out,
of course,
in your head?
In the perfect world, a knockout, of course. And then I early call it a day, come out unscathed. Hell yeah. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's a first round knockout, first round submission, decision. I don't care. But I'm walking out with that belt wrapped around my waist. So you're here and new.
You've gone through rematches, as I mentioned, with the JDS thing. That was kind of a weird one, though, because you weren't champion before, then you were champion. In this case, you know Daniel doesn't have very much time left in his career. He's been very honest to say he's going to retire sometime soon. You go and beat him on August 17th. Are you willing to give him a rematch?
When I beat him.
When you beat him on August 17th, are you willing to give him a rematch?
For whatever, man. I don't care. I'll fight anyone. I don't care about this fight right now.
You are a guy who is very, very proud of your heavyweight title. You're proud to be the longest reigning champion. Do you feel like it will be different being champion the second time around? Not to say you didn't appreciate, you know what I mean, but like, do you feel like because you had it and lost it, and I've heard guys say this, man, it's almost like you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Exactly, 100%. I think everyone's like that. I think I don't care what anything in life. You know, it's like your girlfriend. You date a girl, and then you break up for a little bit, then you get her back. Like, man, I had a good thing going, you know. And so yeah, of course, 100%.
Over this last year that you've been away, you know, as you said, you don't really pay attention to what's being said about you. But, you know, Dana, I know you and Dana have had some, back and forth.
We're good, man.
But he always said that, he was fine with giving you the rematch. They were just, obviously you understood, well, maybe you didn't understand, but everyone understood why the Brock Lesnar fight was brought about, a lot of money, things like that. But did you feel like they were always ultimately going to give you the fight? Like, did you feel like they treated you well in terms of that?
Well, I mean, they can do what they want. I mean, they're in the business of making money. I understand that too. But, yeah, I mean, I was hoping, I was praying, and I had faith, and the best thing was going to come out of it. I knew it was going to come out my way.
I heard about a week and a half ago you called Dana White.
Yeah.
I talked to your boy Alexa Kimura before the fight. What was that conversation like? You called him within seconds of the fight ending.
Yeah, I screamed, like, not at him, but I was like, "Give my boy a shot!" He's like, "All right, dude, calm down." I was like, "I'm sorry, my boy a shot." I was like, "Thank you, though. I'll talk to you. I hope you give him a shot." Yeah, I mean, they can do what they want. I'm saying there's so many good fighters in that card, and there was a great performance in that card. So I didn't know what was going to happen, and I was happy he deserves a contract. He's such a great kid, and such a great just a person in general. And not only just a teammate, he's a great friend, and I love that kid. And I'm so happy he got the opportunity, and he shined, and he got what he wanted.
You've never been a guy to like sit here and pat yourself on the back for the things you do, but I talked to Alexa before the fight, and I've talked to Jeff Hughes as well. Two guys who are in the UFC. And they've talked about what a big influence you've been on their career in terms of training, but also coaching in a way. Obviously, Marcus, the team here, I don't want to take you to the coaches. But how much pride do you take in seeing guys you work with who give you that credit, but then make it to that same level? Jeff Hughes in the UFC, Alexa now in the UFC. Like, does it make you feel proud?
No, man, it's all about me, dude. No, honestly, yeah, dude. But Jeff's an amazing guy too, and just Lexi's a young kid, and I train with him. I spar with him, and he keeps me young. He's so fast, and I got to keep with him. So he keeps me young, and it's great. And Jeff too, man. Jeff's getting better and better. He came to our camp a couple years ago. His year before he kind of left, and was trying to figure himself out, man. And he came back, man. He definitely turned the corner with us, and he's gotten better. His confidence is up, and just watch those guys getting better, man. It's awesome. We're just talking about that. We're just family, man. We like make each other better, and watch nothing but succeed for all of us. Watch us all succeed.
Strong Styles obviously put fighters in the UFC before. But you've been kind of the stalwart of this team for a lot of years. Does it make you proud to see other guys reach that level, Bellator, UFC?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Because we've seen a lot more of the fighters in this area kind of make it to that level lately.
Yeah, 100%. It's great, man. My coach is there. He's worked so much harder this gym, made it bigger, made it better. And it's not about the MMA part too. It's just the whole family environment with the fitness side and everything. It's just great because people that are kind of dickheads and they find their way out. The egos, they find their way out real quick. People here, they're all like-minded. We're all good people here.
I know you've cross-trained with other fighters, done some other things like that before. You hear Conor McGregor talk about loyalty to a team. The team that got you there is the team that's going to keep you there, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Is there a part of that for you with this team? Because I'm sure people say, oh, you lost to DC. Why don't you go train somewhere else? Like that kind of stuff.
Never. I could be 0-100. I would never leave just because I'm loyal, man. They put their effort into me. I'm going to put their effort in for them.
Is there a part of you winning this title back is also for them?
100%. It's for everyone. It's for my daughter, for my wife, for my mom, for my family, for my friends, for my coaches, especially the team, the city, everything, man. It's we all each other back. Here, nothing's ever given. It's all earned. We're gonna earn it.
When you were in Brazil, when you beat Fabricio Verdum to win the title, you remember that feeling, jumping on the cage, freaking out. I'm the champ, that kind of thing. I know you can't predict how it's going to feel until it happens on Saturday night, but do you visualize those kind of things, like that moment having your hand raised again, hearing and knew those kind of things? Like, do you kind of?
Of course, you got to visualize your win. There's no question, But right now, I'm gonna go out there and do my thing, and it's gonna, I see it happening. I know it's gonna happen.
Last question. As you notice, I'm not looking any further past this fight because I know it's pointless. John Jones, Francis Ngannou.
I'll fight anyone, whatever.
None of that matters. But do you feel like you will be reborn in a way of being heavyweight champion again, in the sense of, rebuilding a streak, rebuilding your legacy, those kind of things start again on August 17th?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Right now, like I said, all I'm worried about is the 17th. That's all I care about. And go do my job and get that belt back and bring it back home. That's all I care about.
Thanks, Stipe.